vampire and dragon defeated. Oh, we had our fun. Finished every quest released in 2001. 22 full years of questing, banking a death we cannot do. RuneScape 3 Hardcore Ultimate Ironman, questing through 2002. Welcome back to March 25th, 2002. We're over here in Varrock, and this guy's dead for 60 magic. And that is a very big level, big unlocks, lots of cool stuff. So let's open that up. That is Bones to Peaches, Centistan Teleport, Guthix, Ceradomin, and Zamorak Capes, Lunar Equipment, Ceradomin, Guthix, and Zamorak Staffs, the Taktiz Medj Tall Obsidian Staff, the Master Wand, Mage's Book, Empowered Earth Staff in Daemonheim, Spellbind Equipment in Daemonheim. I got Staff in Daemonheim, Grapholic Wand and Orb. I got Wand in Daemonheim, Soul Bell, Orb in Daemonheim, Charge Earth Orb, the Dragon Battle Staff, and Divine Storm. None of these things exist yet, except for Charge Earth Orb. But in the future, 60 magic is going to be very, very usable. Not quite yet, though. But we will continue making our way closer to that future by moving to the next day here. On March 26th, 2002. This was the next day after fletching and all that. And so some first day bonuses were changed up. Since everyone in the game, obviously, was going to want to chop down a whole bunch of trees when fletching was added, for the first day, trees didn't get chopped down. So you could just continue chopping on all the trees. But now that they are going back to actually being depleted, woodcutting experience was increased by a bit. So that's nice. And also, so many people were not bothering with bowstrings for the fletching that more experience was put into the stringing portion for overall more experience for making bows. We're not going to be doing bowstrings for a completely different reason, aka farming experience, so we don't need to worry about that. And we couldn't change how trees work or the experience we get, so not a huge deal either way for us. But that is pretty much that for today. So we move on to the next day. Well, not the next day, the next update, let's say. On April 9th, 2002, we got a new building here in Varrock. This gate here doesn't exist yet. So, while we need to click on this gate to move in here, you would have been able to just waltz right on in here and talk to Dementius Fitzhammerin. Because he's here for a quest. Family Crest. Requirements: 40 mining, 40 smithing, 40 crafting, and 59 magic. So, we have all those. Just barely got the magic level from all our chickens. And speaking of the chickens, we've got 19,000 feathers from those. So that's going to be something. We got a nice long list of things we need. We need to fight a little 84 demon. So it's going to be a process here. We're going to get these supplies as and when they're necessary. Because lots of different places, lots of different steps. We can start the quest. Talking to Deminthius. Hello, my name is Deminthius, of the noble family, Fitzharmon. Why would a nobleman live in a dump like this? I mean, that is fair. He's got a bunch of crates, a table with 3 chairs, and a bed all in one room. The king has taken my estate from me until such time as I can show my family crest to him. Why would he do that? Well, there's a long-standing rule of chivalry amongst the Varakian aristocracy, where each noble family is in possession of a unique crest, which signifies the honor and lineage of the family. More than this, however, it also represents the lawful rights of each family to prove their ownership of their wealth and lands. If the family crest is lost, then the family's estate is handed over to the current monarch until the crest is restored. This dates back to the times when there was much infighting amongst the noble families and their clans. It was introduced as a way of reducing the bloodshed that was devastating the ranks of the ruling classes at that time. When you captured a rival family's clan, you also captured their lands and wealth. So where is this crest then? Well, my 3 sons took it with them many years ago when they rode out to fight in the war against the undead necromancer and his army in the battle to save Varrock. For many years, I had assumed them all dead, as I had heard no word of them. Recently, I heard that my son Caleb is alive and well, trying to earn his fortune as a great fish chef. I believe he is staying with a friend who lives just outside the west gates of Varrock. Accept the quest. Okay, I'll help you. I thank you greatly, adventurer. If you find Caleb, or my other sons, please let them know their father still loves them. Alright. So, one direction we need to go, and one specific bit of information. Just outside Varrock, he says. That is not how it was before. So instead, we are going to go a different way. Also, while we're here at the rune shop, I'm going to buy some runes here. We're going to need many runes in the future. Many, many runes. Blast spells require 3 of each of the elements. I want to have plenty of opportunities to do that. Let's go like 60 of each of the elements here. And also going to need air runes for all these too, unfortunately. 60 and 60 and 60 and 60 earth runes. That should be good. Get some more water runes. Top that off, I guess. More fire runes. Spending a bit of money here. It's gonna be worth it. So, instead of heading just outside of Varrock to the west, we're teleporting over to Camelot. Because Caleb has not always been there. For whatever reason, Caleb was actually moved over near Varrock, which does make a lot less sense about his father not realizing he was around on the other side of town. But before October 2012, Caleb was actually over in Catherby here, which makes a lot more sense, trying to be a fish chef with fresh seafood so nearby. And that ties into what he wants us to do for him. We need to go fishing here. pretty spectacularly large amount of fishing. I'm going to drop most of these lobsters here and trade to get some efficient supplies. We need a small fishing net. We need a harpoon. We need a big fishing net. And we're also going to need a fly fishing rod. But there's not really fly fishing out in these parts. So we're going to have to do that back over in the free-to-play area. The fish chef needs fish. Specifically, specific fish of specific kinds. And we need to cook them, because of course we do. Technically, for non-Ironmen, the whole having the fish part can be accomplished by just buying the fish. But we have plenty of fishing and cooking level here. That is not going to be a problem. We just need to fish the correct things here. And any extra fish we catch, we could also cook, I suppose. Have to end up going back around again to get actual food for later. That's okay. Yeah, we don't actually need this mackerel or cod. That's okay. And the last fish we need here is some shrimp. All assuming we don't accidentally burn any of these, which is entirely possible. Let's pick up some lobsters. Inventory is a bit of a mess. Don't really need the knife right now. I'm just gonna hold on to everything until such time as we actually need to get rid of it. Let's see if we can cook everything correctly here. There's the swordfish, and the bass, and the tuna, and the cod, mackerel, and shrimp. We can drop all these, so don't need those. And I guess we head over to Falador now. Would make the most sense. Since we need to go get fly fishing up and running, I should also grab a tinderbox so we can actually make a fire near the fly fishing. Although we're at the point in cooking where we probably can't burn salmon anywhere. Let's see if we can go to meats here. This is just telling us when we can cook things. Not really giving us the... There's a food burning. See if we can find any salmon on here. Stop burning salmon, period, at level 58. So, that'll work. The problem is just going to be getting to a range, but not really. Not actually a huge deal. Very, very accomplishable for us. So let us go pick up a fly fishing rod here. And oh boy, do we have plenty of feathers. So that's not going to be a problem. Yeah, I got plans to do some serious fly fishing in the future with these 19,000 feathers. Could also technically use some of them to make some arrows, which actually is going to be pretty useful here. But for right now, it's more of a opportunity for massive amounts of AFKing with 19,000 feathers. Especially since we would end up actually cooking all those fish too. Of course, the dropping part is actually less AFK, but for all those cooking levels, I'd say it's worth it. And with 19,000 feathers, we can definitely get pretty far. Even if it is just trout and salmon. There still is substantial experience to be had, for sure. Run energy continues to only be a problem for us with how far we run to places. Technically, we could have teleported to, like, Varrock or something. That would have been fine. But either way. Either way. Once we actually get to the fishing spot and stand around for even a few moments, the natural run energy regeneration rate will do just fine. Not going to be a problem. And we need to find fire or range. Yeah, there's ranges in Varrock. We can work with that. Technically, there's also a range. I don't think there actually is a range in the Cooking Guild yet. That's more of a situation for later. But with 62 fishing, we should not have any problems getting a salmon. There we go. So much for the restoring a bunch of run energy. Oh well. And technically we could teleport to Varrock now to get closer to all that. But again, slightly want to save some law runes here. Probably a good strategy. Either way, I can see a range here. Don't know if that exists. It might. It might. Probably not, though. Exactly where everything is a continued situation. We will just go to places that we know. And eventually, everything will be added to the game and we don't need to second guess ourselves constantly. But for now, there's absolutely a Varrock Palace kitchen over here. And that'll work just perfectly for our salmon cooking. Here we go. Cook at the oven. And we have a whole pile of different fish. We even have 2 additional types of fish that we don't even need. Well, 3. If you count that for the quest, I guess. Yeah, we are rocking 8 different kinds of fish in our inventory. That is a bold statement and a bold strategy when you only have 28 inventory spaces. It's temporary, though. Not really useful to do that in most situations here. That's okay. Anyways, we went over to Catherby, where Caleb is supposed to be. And technically we should go back to Catherby again now, with all the fish. But if we had actually needed to end up in Catherby, I would have went and fished the salmon first. But Caleb is over here. Just hanging out in Cannel's room here. Probably because the doors get stuck shut and they can't just get out by themselves. Anyways. Hello, Caleb. And also, this building doesn't exist yet. And Gertrude isn't here. So, this is not the most accurate. But functionally, it's still the same. Just a slightly different place. Who are you? What are you after? Are you Caleb Fitzharmon? Why, yes I am. But I don't believe I know you. How did you know my name? I have been sent by your father. He wishes the Fitzharmon crest to be restored. Ah, well, yes. I do have a piece of it anyway. What happened to the rest of it? Well, my brothers and I had a slight disagreement about it. We all wanted to be heir to my father's lands, and we each ended up with a piece of the crest. None of us wanted to give up our rights to our brothers, so we didn't want to give up our piece of the crest. But none of us wanted to face our father by returning to him with an incomplete crest. We each went our separate ways many years past, none of us seeing our father or willing to give up our fragments. So can I have your bit? Well, I am the oldest son, so by rules of chivalry, I am most entitled to be rightful bearer of the crest. It's not really much use without the other fragments, is it, though? Well, that is true. Perhaps it is time to put my pride aside. I'll tell you what. I'm struggling to complete this fish salad of mine. So if you will assist me in my search for the ingredients, then I'll let you take my piece as a reward for your assistance. So what ingredients are you missing? I require the following cooked fish: swordfish, bass, tuna, salmon, and shrimp. This is definitely quite the fancy fish salad he's making. And he's chosen a terrible location to get any of these resources. So I can see why he's having problems over here in Varrock. Back over in Catherby, again, only the salmon would have been a problem. Apparently he's not too successful as a fish chef here. He does have the hat, though, so I will give him that. Okay, I will get those. You will? It would help me a lot. Yep. How's the fish collecting going? Got them all with me. You exchanged the fish for Caleb's piece of the crest. Thank you very much. You're welcome. And we should probably talk to him again to get more information here. Hello again. I'm just putting the finishing touches to my masterful salad. What happened to the rest of the crest? The brothers had a disagreement. They went different ways. They didn't want to give up the crest. They won't give the fragments. So we have to go back through all that, awkwardly, to ask him. So do you know where I could find any of your brothers? Well, we haven't really kept in touch, what with the dispute over the crest and all. I did hear from my brother Ivan a while ago, though. He said he was on some kind of search for treasure, or gold, or something, out near Alcarid somewhere. Ivan always had expensive tastes, so you might try asking the gem trader for his whereabouts. Be warned, though, Ivan is quite greedy, and you may find he is not prepared to hand over his piece of the crest to you as easily as I have. Alright. The Alcarid Gem Trader. That's a fancy location for a seemingly fancy guy to do fancy things at. So we will head over that way. I'm also going to drop the fly fishing rod. Suppose we might as well drop the knife. We can always just get that back when we need it. And we don't need it right now, so that's fine. But before we go talk to the gem trader, we got some more supplies to grab here in Alcarid. And we probably should have... I guess we're right here with the gem trader anyways. We've run directly into his shop. Perfect. Alright. Good day to you, traveler. Would you be interested in buying some gems? I mean, I say yes, but he literally does not sell any gems, which is hilarious. Thanks. Appreciate it. Eh. You would think he would sell things, but I don't know. He used to sell gems. All sorts of nice stuff. Uncut sapphires, uncut emeralds, cut sapphires, cut emeralds. Well, singular ones of each. But yeah, it's not exactly a useful shop at this point, unfortunately. Being able to get some gems here could have been useful. And with the prices so much higher for the cut gems, you could actually make some profit buying the uncuts and selling them right back to him. Definitely a strategy. But we need information. I am in search of a man named Ivan Fitzharmon. Fitzharmon, eh? If I'm not mistaken, that's the family name of a member of the Varrockian nobility. You know, I have seen someone of that persuasion around here recently, wearing a poncy yellow cape he was. Came in here all la-di-da, high and mighty, asking for jewelry made from perfect gold, whatever that is. Like, normal gold just isn't good enough for little Lord Fancy Pants there. I told him to head to the desert because I know there's gold out there, and then there's sand dunes. And if it's not up to his lordship's high standards of gold perfection, then, well, maybe we'll all get lucky and the scorpions will deal with him. So, he is out in the desert, looking at gold. Well, that's something. We need supplies while we're here. Gonna do a bit of crafting, which is not too surprising based on the requirements for the quest here. Specifically, we need a necklace mold and a ring mold. We don't need a chisel since we already have the rubies cut from when we got them from big net fishing. So that'll be fine. We do still need a pickaxe though. So we're gonna have to pick that up before we head out to further locations. But first let's go talk to Yvonne up here. Running past all these things that don't exist yet. It's just emptiness out in the desert here. Nothing super crazy. There's the guy with the yellow cape. That checks out. Why are you hanging around in a scorpion pit? It's a good place to find gold. Straight and to the point, I suppose. I'm looking for a man named Yvonne Fitzharmon. Then you have found him. My name is Yvonne Fitzharmon. It could always just be some other guy. You don't know. You have a part of your family crest. I'm on a quest to retrieve all the fragment pieces and restore the crest. Ha! I suppose one of my worthless brothers has sent you on this quest then? No. It was your father who has asked me to do this for him. My father wishes this? Then that is a different matter. I will let you have my crest shard, adventurer. But you must first do something for me. There's a certain lady I'm trying to impress. As a man of noble birth, I cannot give her just any old trinket to show my devotion. What I intend to give her is a golden ring embedded with the finest precious red stone available, and a necklace to match this ring. The problem, however, for me, is that not just any old gold will be suitable. I seek only the purest, most high quality of gold. What I seek, if you will, is perfect gold. None of the gold around here is even remotely suitable in terms of quality. I have searched far and wide for the perfect gold I desire, but have had no success in finding it, I'm afraid. If you can find me my perfect gold, make a ring and necklace from it, and add rubies to them, I will gladly hand over my fragment of the family crest to you. Can you give me any help on finding this perfect gold? I thought I had found a solid lead on its whereabouts when I heard of a dwarf who is an expert on gold, who goes by the name of Boot. Unfortunately, he has apparently returned to his home somewhere in the mountains, and I have no idea how to find him. Well, I'll see what I can do. A dwarf in the mountains, he says. We can work with that. There's only one set of dwarves in mountains, currently. There will be more dwarfs in mountains very soon, actually. But at least at this point, there's only one location we need to worry about. And that is the Dwarven Mines. Since we need to go get this perfect gold, though, we're going to need a pickaxe. So, take that. And to get to the Dwarven Mines, let's just pop over to Falador. Unfortunately, we still do not have the very nice Falador to Dwarven Mines staircase. And we don't have 60 mining to get into the mining guild. Although we are getting kind of close, to be fair. 57? Definitely something we could do here. And we do have the law runes. We could potentially speed up the mining and smithing process, but we've got other serious grinds we're going to need to deal with. I don't really feel like mining and smithing right now. For the future, though, definitely something we could do. For now, we just need to go find Boot over here in the Dwarven Mines. Look around all the dwarves here. There's many, many dwarves. But he's just down here. Kind of in the mines, kind of off to the side, really. But we've been in this area plenty. We are well accustomed to the dwarven shenanigans out here. And Boot is right here. Just a little further into the cave. The bronze chain body on the floor there. Fascinating. Hello, tall person. Hello, short person. A pleasant conversation all around. Hello. I am in search of very high quality gold. High quality gold, eh? Well, the very best quality gold that I know of can be found in an underground ruin near Witch Haven. I don't believe it's exactly easy to get to, though. Alright. That's all the information he has. An underground ruin near Witch Haven. Now, this was probably not the original dialogue, because Witch Haven doesn't exist for a while. Not until 2006. And even the other name of the dungeon is not available until later in the month. It's the Pillars of Zanash, which you only get from a book that we will read when we get to it. Otherwise, it's just the dungeon down here in the farthest southern reaches of the map. A new place, just way on the tippy tip here. At least until more of the map is released. So we just run down past the barbarian outpost that should be here. Get through the mine. And it's just a little bit further south. This is going to require a bit of running. So I think it would be appropriate for us to rest a little bit before we run down in here. And by rest, I mean literally just standing around. Resting obviously would be faster, but that does not exist. We run on in here, past some hobgoblins, which aren't aggressive since they are level 35 and we're level 71. Although, I've been looking a little bit further here, and apparently monsters becoming unaggressive at less than half your level is actually an update that's coming out later. So that's interesting. Much like things being multi-combat everywhere, we cannot change if things are aggressive. Unless we got an aggression potion, but we're not to that point yet, by far. But here we are, down in the dungeon. We can see some perfect gold rocks right over there. So we just need to make our way through here. We got a door here. So we just need to run right in, right? Just that easy? Of course not. It's locked. So, we need to make use of these levers all around these other rooms, guarded by ogres, which, again, with the combat changes, would have been much more dangerous on release here, when you would need to wait 3 rounds of combat against these ogres constantly. Then also hellhounds in here, but we'll get to that when we get to that. So first, need to go to the northern side here. Get attacked by an ogre. Rude. We open the door here. It's also locked. We just pull this lever. And that unlocks something. This one's up. So we can go south to a room with 2 doors. Very fancy. We can not open that door. We can open this door. Gives us access to this lever. Pull that. Now we go back to the northern room here. There's only so many options when you only have this many doors and everything. Go back to the northern room. Pull the other lever. Then we can get inside the northern room. Wow. And pull another lever. Yeah, with only 3 levers, there's not a huge amount of combos. Just need to worry about if you can open any of the doors, basically. Then we walk back outside. Get whacked by that guy, pull this lever. We could probably eat mackerel here. Heal a little bit. And by a little bit, I mean a little bit. My goodness. Try to open any of these doors. They're locked. Attacked by this guy. Pull this lever. Open this door. Eat the cod. And now we can get inside with the hellhounds, which are unfortunately quite aggressive. See if we can lure them in a way that we can get to the gold without being bothered. Because it's going to take us some time here, unfortunately. That one is become unaggressive as we got over that way. So we can fight him off. Level 92. Alright. Let's go for the gold here. And the perfect gold's actually fine to mine. We did look into that back when mining gold was a huge situation. But actually, we're okay. I'll mine 2 pieces of gold here. Brilliant. And it is perfect gold. Delightful. Let's heal up a bit here. So we have the gold. We've got the molds. We got the rubies. So now we just need to make the jewelry. So now we're heading back over to Lumbridge here. And I think another thing we can do while we're in the area is go to the chapel here. Get our prayer restored. Not that we really use prayer for anything, but it's not full and that's not ideal. There you go. Prayer points restored. Yay. Still a little bit off from the more useful prayers here, but it's a work in progress. It's a work in progress. Could have used the Lumbridge furnace. Any of these furnaces are fine. We don't need to go to some magical perfect gold furnace or anything. That's not actually a thing. The ore is the part that matters. Smelt perfect gold bars? Yes. And this is not in the mining and smithing giant ore bank interface, since it's a one-off kind of business. No. Perfect gold bars, just like that. And then we have the perfect ring and perfect necklace. Unlike what Yvonne said, you don't want to make the ring and then add a ruby. That's not how making jewelry works here. You have to use the ruby in the first place. No. Yes, make a perfect ring, just one. Don't want to make 2 of the same thing. That'd be unfortunate. Perfect necklace. There you go. And we can wear them, be all fancy. Love to see it. But they're more useful. Not high alching them. That would also be a poor choice. Lots of options for not doing that. If we got another ruby, we could make our own perfect ruby equipment. But not perfect, but perfect as in actually useful. But that's going to be... who knows when that'll happen. Back to Yvonne. So how are you doing? Give me my perfect gold jewelry. I have the ring and the necklace right here. You hand Yvonne the perfect gold ring and necklace. These are exquisite. Exactly what I was searching for all this time. Please take my crest fragment. Now, I suppose you will be wanting to find my brother, Jonathan, who is in possession of the final piece of the family crest. Yep, that's the plan here. No, I was just going to leave with 2/3 of it. Well, the last I heard of my brother, Jonathan, he was studying the magical arts and trying to hunt some demon or other out in the wilderness. Unsurprisingly, I do not believe he is doing a particularly good job of things, and spends most of his time recovering from his injuries in some tavern or other near the eastern edge of the wilderness. You'll probably find him still there. Thanks, Yvonne. A tavern at the edge of the wilderness. Only one of those. And right up here in Varrock. Well, not in Varrock. North of Varrock. And since we're right by Varrock, I'm just going to walk. By that I mean I'm going to run. There's going to be more law runes in the future. But based on my experience with trying to get law runes in the first place, some things that say they drop law runes really don't seem to. Or the drop rates have been massively reduced with the whole runes update business and all that. So, sparing usage of law runes, probably a good idea for now. Eventually, there will be more ways of getting runes. But until then, it is RuneScape Classic style drops, which is definitely more work than it will be later. Either way, we're up here at the Jolly Boar Inn. We go see Jonathan. And he is staying upstairs. He's got his own room here. There's a guy here, and Jonathan. See what he's looking like. Yeah, appropriately wizardy. Greetings. Would you happen to be Jonathan Fitzharmon? That I am. I'm here to retrieve your fragment of the Fitzharmon family crest. The poison. It is all too much. My head will not stop spinning. Sweat is pouring down Jonathan's face. He is very poisoned, which is not ideal. So we're going to give him an anti-poison. You gonna take all my anti-poison? If I could just use one dose, that'd be great. See what happens. Nope, he takes the entire thing. Rude. I don't think decanting is a thing yet, so it is what it is. Oh, thank you. Wow. I'm feeling a lot better now. That potion really seems to have done the trick. How can I reward you? I've come here for your piece of the Fitzharmon family crest. You have? Unfortunately, I don't have it anymore. In my attempts to slay the fiendish Chronozon, the blood demon, I lost a lot of equipment in our last battle when he bested me and forced me away from his den. He probably still has it now. So is this Chronozon hard to defeat? Well, you have to be a skilled mage to defeat him, and my powers are not good enough yet. You will need to hit him once with each of the blast elemental spells before he will be defeated. And where can I find Chronozon? The fiend has made his lair in the Edgeville dungeon. When you come in down the ladder in Edgeville, follow the corridor north till you reach a room with skeletons. That passageway to the left will lead you to him. And how did you get poisoned? Those accursed poisoned spiders that surround the entrance to Chronozon's lair. Must have taken a nip from one of them as I attempted to make my escape. Alright, I'll be on my way now. My thanks for your assistance, adventurer. So now, we have some information about what we're facing here. We've got a blood demon that can only be defeated by blast spells. We got poison spiders. We got the Edgeville dungeon. And that's not even the half of it. Originally, Chronozon was in the wilderness. And originally, he was deeper in the wilderness. But he was moved out of the wilderness in February 2011. So we don't need to worry about that. But also the wilderness has since then been completely defeated. So there's no PvP or anything. And also the crazy piles of monsters don't spawn anymore. So in total, we really don't need to worry about it. So that's nice. Just drop some things on the ground. What we do need to worry about, though, is actually being able to hit Chronozon with the blast spells. We've got the runes. That's under control. But we bought all these air runes for a reason. As far as I can tell, with a Staff of Air and its level 1 damage and accuracy, we're going to be hard-pressed to do much against this demon. So we need to come over here to Zaph and get a Battle Staff. But the Battle Staffs have been moved. Originally, Zaph had the Battle Staffs here, but instead, they've been moved to Naf here. Hello. Hello, Gov. What do you want, then? Do you have any battle staffs? Zaph's knockoff staffs. For whatever reason, he's got the staffs now. Something to do with the Varrock Achievement Diary and making the shop change appropriately. But that was added before NAF. The Varrock Diary is in 2007 and NAF was added in 2010. But for whatever reason, he now has the battle staffs. It's the same place, the same shop. We're getting a battle staff for 7,000 coins, which isn't great. And it is noted. That's also strange. That is not how it's supposed to work. Even the slightest. The whole point of his shop there is for you to be able to purchase battle staffs and sell them for a profit. I don't even know if that is... Nope, not even close. Yeah. Used to be a decent moneymaker. At various points. But now we just get a noted battle staff, which isn't right at all. I think this is the first noted item we've had to deal with. And taking cues from old school RuneScape's Ultimate Ironman mode, there's a way to unnote items by using them on a bank. In old school, you use a noted item and it pops it back out unnoted. In RuneScape 3, using anything on the bank just puts it inside. So as long as we have the appropriate amount of inventory spaces, we can unnote things. Because noted items otherwise are not useful in the slightest and make for very strange situations. So, battle staffs are available. If we check our loadout here and take off the melee equipment, that's not going to help us at all. With the air staff, we got 46 damage and 600 accuracy. With the battle staff, it goes to 102 damage and 900 accuracy. So, double the damage, 50% more accuracy, and all it costs is all of the runes, all of the time. Well, that's something. We could technically drop the Staff of Air at this point now, Although I still like it for teleporting, so I'm not too worried about it. But what we really need to go do is go get some food. That's going to be very helpful here. And I think we can technically still burn lobsters. But I don't think we're going to actually need this much inventory in general. So I think we're just going to go pick ourselves up, pile of lobsters, get a lobster pot. I guess Catherby's just as good as any, since there's lobsters there. Less annoying than just going to Karamja, I guess. The real problem over here is the lack of fly fishing. But this'll work. So, going to buy a lobster pot, and then we can just cook at this range here, so we don't actually need to get the tinderbox. This axe is not really pulling its weight right now, unfortunately. But it'll be useful in the future, and it's more annoying to get the axe back since we need to go actually make it. So, just going to grab a whole bunch of lobster. Technically could get swordfish, but I think we'll be just fine. And we also need to go get an anti-poison, because of the whole poison spiders business. So that's going to be another thing. We should probably do that first, since it's going to take up an inventory space, but we will just not worry about that. First up, pile of lobsters. And then we go get supplies and stuff. Oh, and that also means we're going to need to go to Entrana. Ah. Yeah, that's fine. It's not the worst thing. As long as we don't need to stay long on Entrana, everything's okay. Everything's okay. Back down in Taverley Dungeon, of course, to get the herb and the vial. I really don't worry about getting vials from shops at all. Just end up getting enough just from the Chaos Druids here. There's a Mirantil potion, unfinished. Now we just have to finish it. Brilliant. Boy, it would have been easier to do this before we got all the lobsters. Oh well, it's a fine. It's gonna drop some lobsters on the ground. Take off the equipment that we can't have. Drop that on the ground. Drop, 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 drop. Dropping everything. It's great. Everything's fine. To Entrana. Nope. Axe. To Entrana. Axe not allowed, obviously. Tool belt. It's going to be a thing in the future. Not right now. We just need to get our pestle mortar and quickly run back out of here. See if we can get the monks to not be standing on top of our stuff for once. Otherwise, loot inventory time. Yeah, we're good. Take the things. Wield things. Take more lobsters. We got more space, more lobster. There we go. It is jumbled around a little bit, but that's fine. So now, we just need a unicorn. And we need to go to the Edgeville dungeon. And those are in the same place. Wow. There is every possibility we don't end up getting poisoned, but it's worth the precaution here. Kill a unicorn. Make space for the unicorn horn in the inventory. Once the death animation's done, grind it up. Make the anti-poison. There we go. A bit of herbal XP is not bad either. Take our lobster back. Technically, we have space to hold the pestle mortar for right now. Not going to need it. But no reason to drop it, so that's fine. we just need to run over here into the Edgeville dungeon. Oh boy. And we get to see the new location that Chronozon is in, and the location he used to be. Exactly where he was when he was deeper in the wilderness, but potentially just on the other side of the dungeon here. Hard to say. But originally, we would need to go into the wilderness portion, up through there, around to here, and Chronozon would be over there. But with the changes in 2011, Chronozon's now over here. Maybe. Not currently seeing a blood demon here. This is the location. We got poison spiders here, which is not ideal. Let's see if we can deal with that. I'm gonna run in here, get attacked by poison spiders, and there's the demon. Yeah, there he is. See if we can get him in a situation here where we can just not get hit by attacks. Oh, the poison spiders are coming. That's great. Oh, he's moving around. Alright. Well, if we're getting attacked by poison spiders, and we need to keep him in combat here too. This is the situation. And we are poisoned, so let's get unpoisoned here. And we need to drop some lobsters on the ground to take off the melee armor. We need to cast Air Blast on Chronozon here. And we're not hitting it well at all. There's no magic prayer. There's no magic increasing things. There we go. Air Blast seems to have done all it will to Chronozon. So we accomplished that. And now we're trying to fire off Water Blast. And this is why we brought 20 casts to hopefully succeed here in hitting one time. Getting attacked by the spider the entire time is not ideal either. Oh, how we doing? Not great. There's not much we can do to make this better for ourselves. More magic levels is only going to slightly increase our accuracy. And this level 30 staff is the best we can do. I mean, technically, since we now do have access to battle staffs, we could get everything together to make an elemental battle staff, but oh my gosh, water did it. Now we move on to earth. We just barely had enough casts. Oh no. Come on, Earth Blast. I believe in you. We're just getting absolutely hammered by this poison spider the entire time. This is a boss fight for the ages. He's level 84. Our immunity to poison has expired. That's not great. Please hit. Oh, we gotta hit. Gotta hit. And we're also running lower on air runes here too, which is also a problem. There we go, there's Earth Blast. Brilliant. And we killed it with Fire Blast, and that was also the kill. Yeah, if we kill him before you get all the 4 blasts off, it also doesn't work. So that's great. But there we go. All the crest parts. Just barely. We killed him in 4 hits, but the defense was the problem. And a poison spider has gotten out here. That's great. Whew. Oh boy. Use the crest together. And we have restored the family crest. Delightful. We used a lot of those runes, my goodness. Alright. That takes care of that, then. Back to Varrock. And back to Dominthius. Yeah, water was very close. We only had 2 more attempts to hit with Water Blast. If that had failed, we would have needed to reset everything. And that would have required buying more stuff and all that. Wow. Okay, here we go. Dominthius, I have retrieved your crest. Adventurer, I can only thank you for your kindness, although the words are insufficient to express the gratitude I feel. You are truly a hero in every sense. I'm literally a hero. I am in the Heroes Guild, yes. And perhaps your efforts can begin to patch the wounds that have torn this family apart. I know not how I can adequately reward you for your efforts. Although, I do have these mystical gauntlets, a family heirloom that, through some power unknown to me, have always returned to the head of the family. Whenever lost, or if the owner has died, I'll pledge these to you, and if you should lose them, return to me, and they will be here. They can also be granted extra powers. Take them to one of my sons. They should be able to imbue them with a skill for you. That is Family Crest completed. Original rewards were 1 quest point, access to the dungeon with the hellhounds that we were in, oh boy, and these gauntlets. Later, much later, we get the ability to store silver and gold in the ore box and metal bank. So, once that's a thing, that'll be nice. But that's not until after the mining and smithing rework, so not going to worry about that. At least not for now. What we do get is the gauntlets here. And we have the ability to go to the 3 brothers and get some extra benefits. Originally, these gauntlets had some stats, but nowadays they don't do anything. So what we're really looking for here is the extra benefits. Destroy these ice gloves. Not going to be wearing them anymore. And we can always just go back to the Ice Queen if we really wanted them, which we don't. So we have 3 options. If we went to Avon, we could get the Smelting Gauntlets. Originally, the Goldsmithing Gauntlets, which gave huge amounts of extra experience for smelting gold. But also with the mining and smithing rework, they were changed to no longer do that. So now they're just smelting gauntlets, which puts your bars back in the metal bank, which we don't want it to do anyway, so don't want those. If we went to Jonathan, we could get the Chaos Gauntlets, which very slightly increase the damage from casting the bolt spells, because those used to require chaos runes. The extra damage is nowhere close to the extra damage of just using the blast spells, which cost 1 more of each of the runes, and which you can already do because you completed this quest and you needed to use the blast spells. Also used to be able to boost your magic from 56 with a Wizard Mind Bomb, but that's no longer a thing. So, doing slightly more damage from these spells that do less damage for no reason is not helpful. And that leaves the one that's actually useful, and the one we're going to be getting. Talking to Caleb here. I hear you've brought the completed crest to my father. I must say, that was awfully impressive work. I believe your father mentioned that you would be able to improve these gauntlets for me? Yes, that is correct. I can slightly alter these gauntlets to allow you some of my skill at preparing seafood by making them cooking gauntlets. When you wear them, you will burn lobsters, sharks, and swordfish a lot less. It will be a permanent modification, however, so make sure this is what you want. Yes, please do that for me. Caleb takes the gauntlets from you, pours some herbs and seasonings on them, bakes them on his range for a short time, then hands them back to you. If it wasn't for the effects that we can literally observe, that would sound insane. But we get cooking gauntlets. Also, they are cooked gauntlets because of what Caleb just did. And he said that these will help us to cook lobsters, swordfish, and sharks, which is, for now, all they do. In the future, they'll also slightly help with many, many other fish, but only fish. He is a fish chef, after all. So now we went from blue gloves to white gloves. Oh boy, look at us go. They still don't give any stats, that's alright. But now we will burn less things. We got the level here in cooking, so that means we will never burn lobsters now, which is fantastic. And we'll also burn swordfish less, sharks less once we get there. So, that's nice. Not going to help us any for the 19,000 trout and salmon that we already would have never burned in the first place here. But that's okay. But now, I think we're going to go and prepare for a future grind. Not a requirement for the next quest, or the next quest, or the next quest. But when we got a grind coming up, it makes sense to be prepared here. I'm going to head over to the general store here and sell some stuff. We purchased this battle staff for 7,000 coins, selling it here for 2,100. Don't really need to do any magic. That was really only there for the slight accuracy bonus, which we clearly needed. We desperately needed that accuracy bonus, my goodness. We'll sell the battle staff. And we'll sell the lobsters, it's fine. And we'll sell... anti-poison probably not quite the right price. Something like that. Drop the staff, drop the anti-poison, drop the pestle and mortar, and the water runes and earth runes and fire runes. Head upstairs here, or specifically up ladder. Grab a knife off the ground. Teleport to the only place we can teleport since we dropped all those other runes. Over to Camelot. And then drop the air runes. With a knife, over here in the land of many a tree, there's only one thing we could be doing. We've got some fletching to do. And then updates and quests and such and such and such. Right. Want to do some fletching for right now. But we will start that next time. Goodbye.